May the honorable members take their seats. And can we have somebody invite the candidate in? Thank you, honorable members. Our time is now 12:15, and we take our third candidate, Ms. M.G. Mulimela. Dumela, Mama Mulimela, and you're welcome to the interviews. We have a mic that you can use. You press the audible button to speak and press it to mute yourself. Honorable members, we are joined by one FSTV, and to the FSTV team, please note that you are free to cover the session and to record the session, but let it be noted that you are not to broadcast live until the session ends. The session is embargoed until the session is adjourned due to the considerations that were made by this committee. So we trust you would adhere to the resolution of this committee. Honorable members, we have Ms. M.G. Mulimela. Ma'am, my name is Nolita Ndungane. I'm the chairperson of this committee, and I would be presiding over today's interviews. With me, I am joined with the rest of the panel. To my right, we have Honorable Thabo Meko, we have Honorable Khwabane, we have Honorable Skwebela, we have Honorable Khaurekwi, we have Honorable Klute, we have Honorable Van Vieren, Honorable Pretorius, and the Honorable Foko. We are also joined by a team from the institution. Inclusive of the team, we have our legal expert from the institution. Honorable member, please feel free and comfortable, and if at any point you need water, you have water just in front of you. You can take a few seconds to take in your water. The purpose of the interview, honorable member, sorry, Ms. Mulimela, you have now become honorable, I see. The purpose of the interview is to get to know a little bit more about you and your understanding of the Public Service Commissioner role and its responsibility. Your interview is 45 minutes long, but within those 45 minutes, each of the panel will ask you each one question or two, and you would only be allocated 3 minutes to respond to a particular question. And at the end of the questions, you will also be afforded an opportunity to ask the panel any questions that you may seek clarity to. I'm not going to waste your time. You would have read in your letter of invite to this interview that we have requested you to prepare a 15 minutes presentation in terms of your knowledge and understanding of the Public Service Office. I will then allow you to give that presentation for 15 minutes, and subsequent to that, we will immediately move over to questions from the panel. Over to you, Ms. Molemela. Thank you. Can I have somebody who would be seated right next to Ms. Molemela to assist now and then?
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. It's afternoon. I hope everybody is good. I am going to give a presentation on the Public Service Commission. As you can see from my slides, my name is Mpho Molemela. And before I present, I would like to maybe take an opportunity to say thank you for inviting me.
I'm sorry, can I humbly interject you? I would really like to request to the people from Hansard to please lower your voices because we are really struggling to hear our candidates. Please lower your voices from behind. Thank you.
Okay. I really want to take the opportunity to thank you for inviting me to this interview. But maybe before I can do that, if allowed, I can maybe tell you a bit about myself. My name, as I've said, it's Mpho Molemela. I'm born and bred in Bloemfontein. I have studied in different institutions. I started after, qualifying from the high school. I started at a University of the Free State. I've done my health and social welfare management there. In 1998, I've done my labor law certificate, advanced course in labor law. I've done the recruitment and selection with UNISA. I've done the alternative dispute resolution ADR with the University of UOS. I have done the postgraduate in labor law with the University of the Free State. And last year I completed my MBA with Regenesis Business School. And further than that, I've also worked in different, institutions. I'm currently working for Centlec as a general manager at HRD, Human Resource Development. Before then, I was working for 8 years as a manager labor relations in Mangaung and in Centlec. I'm currently holding 2 positions, the general manager, HRD, Human Resource Development, and also I'm acting in the executive manager position in Centlec for HR as a whole. We are a staff of 38, employed there. So when I was working as a labor manager, I was, in that section. I came from Mangaung. I was seconded there because at the time it was mainly men in Centlec. So there was no unit there for labor relations. So I had to go there and establish one. But that I will keep for later. I can say that I have a strong administration background. I'm flexible. I'm a team player. I like, listening to people, guiding people, I like, like I'm involved in policies and everything, and I'm also passionate about implementing them, not just, being, being there when, we talk about them. Okay, I'll leave everything for later, then I'm going to go to my slides, my presentation. Okay, the topics that I'm going to cover are as follows: constitutional mandate, powers and functions of the Commission, values and principles. I'm going to cover the vision, my vision, and the implementation strategy. Thank you. Here, when you talk about constitutional mandate, now it says there, the Public Service Commission, PSC, derives its mandate from the section 196 of the Constitution of 1996. The Commission, again, is vested with custodial oversight responsibility. Sorry, can I? Sorry. Can I bold? From there. Can I bold? Okay, sorry for that. The Public Service Commission, PSC, derives its mandate from Section 196 of the Constitution, 1996. The Commission is vested with custodial oversight responsibility for the public service. It has the power to, amongst other things, monitor, evaluate, and investigate public administration and personnel practices. And in terms of the 196, the Commission has the power to, amongst others, issue directions regarding compliance with personnel procedures relating to recruitment, transfers, promotion, and dismissals. Is the continuation of powers and functions. It says here the PSC must exercise its powers and perform its functions without fear, favor, or prejudice. The PSC must promote the values and principles as set out in Section 195 through the public service. It must also investigate, it must monitor and evaluate the organization, administration, and the personnel practices of the public service. The PSC must also propose measures to ensure effective and efficient performance within the public service. It must give direction aimed at ensuring that personnel procedures relating to recruitment, transfers, promotion, and dismissals comply with the values and principles set out in Section 195. I continue with the powers and functions. There are so many, but I've chose, some that I think they will make. They are all important. They are also important, but I've chose from those. The PSC must report on its activities and the performance of its functions, including any finding it may make, and direction and advice it may give, and provide an evaluation of the extent to which the values and principles set out in Section 195 are complied with. The PSC may, either of its own accord or on receipt of any complaint, investigate and evaluate the application of personnel and public administration practices to report to the relevant executive authority and legislature. Also, it must investigate grievances of employees in the public service concerning official acts or omission and recommend appropriate remedies. It monitor and investigate adherence to application procedure on the public service. Again, its other function is to advise national and provincial organ of states regarding personnel practices in the public service, including those relating to the recruitment, appointment, transfers, discharge, and other aspects of the career of employees in the public service. Now, the vision. Now, I think it's what I will bring. It's a public, I want to say a public sector that is professional, ethical, efficient, effective, free of corruption, and provides exceptional service to the public. And then how are we going to the objective, the strategy objectives? We also want to see it, to professionalism of the public sector, the eradication of corruption in the public sector. And how are we going to achieve this? I think we are going to, the office is going to achieve this by developing a forum between the PSC and the Office of the Premier, MECs, DGs, HODs, Municipal Council, heads of provincial entities, and labor to meet and develop an implementation strategy in line with the national framework. It must also hold quarterly meeting to monitor the progress of the implementation of the national framework. And it should also include some of the elements of the national framework as KPIs of MECs, DGs, and HODs. When coming to eradication from the public of corruption in the public sector, I think the Commission have to work closely with local law enforcement agencies and other stakeholders to formulate strategies that can assist with the eradication of corruption. It must also conduct workshops and roadshows with various stakeholders on anti-corruption. Also develop a monitoring mechanism, to measure the progress on a quarterly basis. That was my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Molimela. I was tempted to give you an extra 2 seconds due to that interjection. But thank you very much. Let me now hand over to the Honorable Meko.
Chair, thanks. Let's thank you. But also welcome the presentation, Molimela. It's indeed good to have you here. My question will be about your development as a person and the extent to which the traits you have built from your earlier age, schooling, from family, up to the current responsibility you are shouldering. What can you tell us? How did it shape you? So that you can then help us to, improve in the work of the Public Service Commission. All the lessons, the experiences, and how life generally has shaped you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I will start by saying I'm one person who believes truly believe in development. Development of myself and development of, employees. Development of youth. As I've said, I am working in Centlec as a General Manager, Human Resource Development. So my responsibility or my functions is to develop people, employees, and to develop, I'm working with public, I'm working with Centlec employees, I'm also working with students from the universities. When I say I'm working with students from the universities, it's like, the students who are supposed to get their qualifications, they come to us and they want us to place them, in the company, or they need to be placed in the open labor market so that they can get, experience, so that they get their qualification, and after that they go, in the real workplace where they are going to go there, having experience. So our people have developed in Centlec. We're working mainly, but not limited to, engineers. We're having all, we're having various departments in Centlec. Our engineers, I will be, going out to the SETAs, EW SETA, LG SETA, and ask for, or apply for funding. Then, we had funding. I think last year we trained our people, 10 employees from engineer to go and study with this university, with a CUT, to go and study renewable energy. We got funding again through me. I have got funding from EW SETA. Now we are going to train 30. We are training the apprentices for 3 years. We are training the learner technicians from the universities, and we are also training our employees. We send them to different trainings depending on where they work. We also, to see that, we are serious about development, we also have a bursary scheme where our employees can come and register so that they can go and study whatever that they want to study.
Thank you. Ms. Molemela, your time is up for that question. I'll now allow Honorable Van Vuren.
Thank you, Chairperson, and let me also welcome the presentation. My question is, what do other people say about your leadership style? How do they see that? And can you give us examples of your leadership skills set? Thank you.
I think the people that I'm working with and I've worked with, they regard me, as a person who is a leader. I know that, anybody can be a leader. You can lead from wherever you are. Leadership is not about titles and it's not about qualifications. So when you work with people, you have to give them a hearing. The people that you work with have to also advise you. You can guide. And I'm flexible as a leader. I like listening to people. I have empathy, but I also, people regard me as a strict person. So, because as a leader, you have to make hard decisions. So I can say I have skills, I'm competent, I have the qualifications, I have, the experience because I've worked in various, institutions. Like I said, I have a strong, administration background. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mulma. Is there a follow-up on that, Honorable Member? You're happy. Thank you very much. We move on to the next member, Honorable Klute.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you for your presentation earlier. What do you think are the biggest challenges currently in the public service generally? What are the biggest challenges in public services?
Like I say, thank you, sir. Like I said on my presentation, I think the biggest challenge is corruption. Why I'm saying that is because we see it every day in the media. We see it, we read about it, we see it on TV. So the challenge will be that, and also the challenge will be, people who are, employed without meeting the requirements. The people are there, are employed, they don't meet the requirement, and I believe that, there's nothing that you can do about it because the people are already there, are already working, are already appointed. The only thing that you can do is upskill, retrain, so that at least they can meet the minimum requirements. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. If there's no follow-up on that, I'll take the Honorable Pretorius.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Thank you, Ms. Molemela. My initial question has been greatly covered by your presentation, so I'm not going to ask that again. Just having a look at your CV, it would seem that most of your experience has been focused on local government level. Do you think that this would possibly negatively affect you fulfilling your mandate as the Public Services Commissioner, as you haven't had much experience on a provincial government level?
Thank you, sir. I have experience in the local government. I have experience in private sector because I started working at the bank when it was not fashionable to do so at the time. That was 2008, I can't remember, but somewhere there. So I was working there, going to work with the people who were speaking Afrikaans, and I did not know a word, of Afrikaans, but I'm proud to say today I can speak it, even if it's not fluent. And I also worked, I was a supervisor at the National Lottery, the first one, the Utingu. I was the supervisor there, supervising 42 people in the call center. And I also was working for APD. APD, it's Association for Persons with Disability here in the Free State. But I was volunteering at the time. And, I was working with schools, I was working with the communities, and I also worked at Sanlam. I was working as a supervisor there as well at Sanlam. And when they closed the regional office here, going to Cape Town, at the time, I could not pick up and go because I just had an accident. So I broke my back, and that's why I'm sitting on the wheelchair. So, yes, I think that leaders, as a leader, people learn every day. We learn new things every day. A person can be taught to be a leader. Maybe some will say some are born leaders, but I believe that, with training, people can become leaders. Like I said, a leader is not about qualifications, it's not about, titles. Anybody can be a leader where he or she is working. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I will now allow the Honorable Khwabane.
Thanks, Mayor. I hope that you you're conversant with the audit outcome of 2023. What could be, based on that, what would be your 100-day plan once you assume office? Based on the outcome of the 2023 audit? And you just mentioning two, three, or 4 or 5 things, priorities that you think would bring a solution in relation to the issues of financial management.
Can you repeat the question? Thank you.
Or your 100-day plan. You know, when you assume office, most of the time, I don't know whether it's fashionable or what, people think about 100 days. And then what would be your just the 3 or so key priorities that you'd put in place in that 100 days in relation to the problems of financial management in the institution? And then the second question would be that what would be your 3-year plan? Just key issues on the 3-year plan that you look at.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I'll answer it the other way around. I think, okay, when you start working in any organization, obviously there are systems that are already working. So when you get there, you are not going to, because you are a new broom, you are not going to sweep, and change everything. There are systems that are working, there are systems that are not working. And the first thing, you are new there are people who have worked there. So I think it will be proper, to learn, to first want to know what are the challenges, because you don't know, you are new there. What are the challenges, how are the people doing things, and so on and so forth. You have to have meetings with the people who are already working there, have one-on-one with them, so that you can know them, you can understand them, you can understand how they operate. And they will guide you. They've been there before you were there. So, like I say, we learn every day. It doesn't mean when you are in a top position, then, you come there and you know everything. You have to be guided by the people who are there. And obviously you'll check, you'll have your budget. You'll check your budget, and then you have to see, what budget is the office doing. You can't work, come there and, do things, not knowing, what is your budget. And the other thing is that, like I said on my slides, maybe when you talk about the 3-year plan, it's what I've said on my presentation, that you are not going to work alone, or it's not you who is going to do this job. That's why you have to, hold hands with stakeholders. You have to, to call these people, because I think your goal, we are all working towards the same goal, So you'll call your stakeholders, you'll sit around the table, you'll strategize, you'll monitor, you'll, check, what is going on, the progress, and then you will implement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me now recognize the Honorable Khaurekwi.
Thank you so much, Chairperson, and good afternoon, Ma'am, on your academic qualification, you did ethic and corporate management. So what kind of mandate would you want from the president and the premier for you to take this job? Which part of this are non-negotiable?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? Thank you.
This question is more on integrity and ethical behavior. It said, what kind of mandate would you want from the president and the premier for you to take this job? And then which part of this are non-negotiable?
If I hear you correctly, you are saying, what mandate will I take from the president? I think all of us, we are taking, mandate from the president. Everybody of us, will really take any mandate from the president. But now, what is non-negotiable? It will be now to interference in doing what I'm supposed to do. It will be interference in doing what I'm supposed to do. They will give me mandate, and they have to trust me, that I will carry their mandate and I will do what's need to be done. So for me, ethical conduct goes a very long way. Transparency, fairness, respect are things that plays a major role in my life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam. I will now move to Honorable Fogo.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Memo Molemela. Let me take this opportunity to welcome your presentation. Can you please tell this panel, will you make any changes to the key corporate processes, such as budgeting, planning, risk reviews, or business reviews, and why? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I believe, I can make, their changes. I'm not saying I'm going to turn around this place, but, I will make, the changes by, doing what I said in my slides that will happen. The changes I will not do alone. I will do together with my team. And I'll also do together with, like your stakeholders. You have to bring everybody on board. You cannot work alone. Nobody is an island. We must just, when we have policies, processes, procedure and everything, we must see to it that we implementation, like I said, to me, is very important, is very crucial. That we don't just talk the talk, but we must also walk the talk. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Is the follow-up, are you covered? Honorable Fogo, you are happy with that. Let me take the last member, Honorable Skobela.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mayor Moleman. I see that you are 63. Yeah, you're close to retirement. But wish you all the luck. But I wanted to ask a question. In your own opinion, what do you think, or what do you think, who are the key stakeholders as far as the Office of the Public Service Commissioner?
I already said is the Premier, Office of the Premier, the HODs, the DGs, the MECs, and also I think the heads of the SOEs are the stakeholders. Labor, I think labor plays also, I mustn't forget them, it also plays a major role. Everything that you do, you have to have them, so that whatever that you are doing is going to be, transparent, because they are like the overseer, and those are the stakeholders for me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and this brings us to the end of our questions for this interview. But I'm also going to afford you an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have, whether it's questions of, whether it's clarity-seeking questions, and the panel will respond to that.
Thank you. I think I only have one question. Can the panel maybe briefly tell me about the culture of, the commission?
The culture of the commission.
The culture of, yes, the culture of the office.
Of the office.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for that question. Honorable Mego, would you like to respond to the question?
I'm going to try, and I think I'll be reinforced by Honorable Khawani. We are not from the commission. It is the requirement of the law that the legislature is the one that employs the Public Service Commission in the province. And the reason is because the Public Service Commission plays oversight over governance in the province, so that we achieve ethical public service, the one that is orientated around progressive values of servicing the people, clean government, free from corruption. So the legislature then becomes, by law and location, the one that has got authority to identify such an office, or the person who must head that office, to be able to play that role. So we're not directly, in the office of the Public Service Commission, but from the values of oversight, we would know that this objective, of course, has got to be pursued by people who are socially orientated around these values that I've attempted to elaborate. So clearly the legislature also has got an expectation that the work of the Public Service Commission will reinforce its work of oversight over the executive, over governance in the province with regard to those areas of work for which the Public Service Commission, on behalf of the people, must ensure that it evaluates, it oversights provincial government in the Free State. Thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Are you covered on that one?
Yeah, thank you. I think I'm covered.
Okay, thank you very much. I would also just like to check with you your contact details since your submission of your documents, that nothing has changed.
Yes, since I have submitted my CV, the only change that is there is that I'm the acting executive manager. I did not put that in of HR, but everything else, it's still the same.
And it would be recorded as such. Your contact details haven't changed since?
No, still the same thing.
Still the same.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I would also would like to inform you that in terms of your traveling costs, Ndate Mashumi over here would take care of that if it was not communicated with you. But Ms. Molemela, allow me to thank you for coming to this interview and honoring it. And also in those words, let me also extend my sincere apology and, on what you just related to us with regards to your accident. But since it is Women's Month, and I would say coming from myself as a young woman, You are an inspiration for not feeling sorry for yourself, but as Imbokodo, you continue to fight for the liberation of women and empowerment of women. So we really applaud you and thank you very much. You may have a good day.
Thank you, and thank you to the panel, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Honorable members, that ends our first session of the interviews. We will now adjourn, honorable members, for lunch. It is now exactly 1 o'clock, and you are expected to be back at 1:45 is a reasonable time. Thank you, honorable members. The session adjourns.